to the copper wall mount. So using connections, going down to copper straight through, just like you would if you were a desktop technician, you would go in this office, and if you're setting this PC up for the first time, knowing that this wall mount is there, going to the patch panel, and it's plugged into a switch, you would just connect the cable to the PC on the RJ45 network interface card and to the appropriate jack. In this case, the lighter grade out punch down is the jack that's active, or that's punched down on both sides. So I'm going to select jack 1. The interface on this PC is down. It's down because it's not actually plugged into the switch. So I'm going to go to the switch, the main wiring closet, left click on the main wiring closet, and plug this jack, punch down 1, take a copper cable, copper straight through cable, as you see down here. If I hover over it, it says copper straight through down below. Plug it into jack 1, and from jack 1, it's going to go to F01 on switch 1. That's PCA. Goes to switch 1. The light is orange, which means it's the interface is coming up. And as you can see on this page, Fast Ethernet 01 is up. So that means the interface is up and it's going through the motions. So the other interface for PCB, so if I go back to this area, I'm going to take a copper straight through cable, plug it into jack 1, left click on the PC, plug into Fast Ethernet 0. Once again, similar to what PCA had, PCB interface is actually not plugged into the switch. This is acting as one continuous link, even though there are breakpoints in between, but it's not plugged into the switch, so it is not on. Let's left click on it. Or when I left click on the main wiring closet, just imagine I'm walking out of this room and walking into this room to look at the physical equipment that's in here. And while I'm in here, I'm going to grab a copper straight through cable, plug it into jack 2, and jack 2 to, or patch panel jack 2 to switch 2. Okay, so let's go back, and we see an orange light, which is an indicator that the interface is up and it's preparing for communication. Once it's prepared for communication, it goes from blocking to eventually forwarding mode. This will turn green, and that is a good sign. So let's go to logical view and take a look at what's actually happened. Well, there we have it. The interface is green. So we have switches connected to the router and the PCs connected to the switches. That is the complete view of what we should have. So let me just move these. I just zoomed out so I can adjust these appropriately because they're all over the place. Alright, so this is what we have now. PCA to switch 1, switch 1 to R1, PCB to switch 2, switch 2 to R1. And that looks just like what we have here. PCA to switch 1 to R1, PCB to switch 2 to R1. And we see the interfaces. So okay, let's keep going. Back to physical view. So now we need to configure these devices. Now in the logical view, you can just click on the device and voila, you have this command line interface and you can start interacting with it. But what would you do if you were in the physical view? You're in this room, standing here, looking at this rack with this equipment. Well, you need some device, a laptop or desktop, to interact with this through the console ports. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a laptop, because hopefully you're traveling. You're doing this portably and not carrying a whole desktop unit. In fact, we're going to need a table first. So let me grab a table. Up here in this menu,